know how I love to do things on the radio that have a high chance of failing, right? I got one for you this morning. This may be great. It may absolutely suck. Okay. So over the course of the last couple of days, we have been playing clips from The Bert Show from the last 25 years, right? Well, I walk in here a couple of days ago, and as I'm just about to get into the studio, I noticed that there are a whole bunch of CDs from The Bert Show with all of our shows on them from past years, right? I mean, there are catalogs out there, and they are in sort of these makeshift books with sleeves, so you can see the catalogs, right? And they also have like a one-line description on exactly what's on the CD, right? So, Cass, will you do me a favor, and will you grab a couple of those books and bring them on in here? I haven't read them. But I thought, okay, if I read the headline on some of them, maybe something will catch me and there'll be a really cool Bert Show story attached to it, even though I have no idea what's on the CD.
Wait. You're challenging your memory? Oh,
right.
God.
Well, you're here. So I got that going for me.
You're like kind of a savant, though, when it comes to that stuff. Remembering stuff that happened on the show, I'm often surprised at how much you remember when it comes to that.
I can remember. I don't remember some of the stuff that happened, but the ones that I do, I can remember the exact time it happened. Like Tommy will go from 3 weeks ago. What time did we do that one bit? And I'm like, oh, that was 7:40.
Mm-hmm. It's bizarre. It's really bizarre.
Am I explaining it? You want to explain exactly what this is? Am I doing it?
All right. So Bert has a giant 3-ring binder. It's a 3-inch 3-ring binder, and it's got a bunch of CDs in there, and they are all labeled, and it's the different segments from the Bert Show from years past. But they're just like kind of like how Rebecca labels our podcast segments. This is how these segments are labeled, but actually printed out on paper with the CD, so you can see. It's like a track list. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a segment track list for CDs from past Bert Shows.
You were with the show when we used to do the incarceration draft, right?
Oh, God, yes.
After a while, we were done with that. So we used to try to predict after every time a celebrity would get arrested, we would try to predict the next celebrity that was getting arrested.
Stop.
Were you ever right?
Yes.
A lot.
Tell 'em.
DMX was like, wasn't it DMX that was getting arrested all the time?
There were some people that we had to retire, like DMX and Andy Dick.
Yeah.
But who was it that called the Dell guy back in the day?
That sounds like a Jeff thing.
Yeah, somebody actually said the Dell guy from the Dell computer commercials, and lo and behold, he was the next one to get arrested. It was so random.
That was my favorite bit we ever did. I loved celebrity incarceration.
Really?
So much. I don't know why, but I just loved it.
At some point, I think just as things started to get more politically correct, people were starting to complain more about it. Hey, these are people's lives. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they are.
And then we did celebrity baby draft for a while. So every time a celeb announced a baby, we would pick again who the next celeb to get pregnant was.
Did we also do celebrity divorce draft?
I think we tried it.
But it just got sad.
At least we didn't do celebrity death draft.
Naked family photo. I don't think I remember. Do you remember this one?
No.
Naked family photo?
What? Do you even know what year that binder is?
2011.
Okay.
Wow.
I was here.
You guys were still doing CDs in 2011?
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't done it in years, but this one was a call that I don't specifically remember this call, but I remember getting calls about it. This was from Lieutenant Colonel Wagner, and this is when we started to do the big thank you. Mm-hmm. So were you ever here for any of the big thank yous?
I've never been a part of a big thank you.
So the big thank you was when we asked you guys to write handwritten letters to those that were deployed overseas at Thanksgiving to say thanks, right? We didn't want them typed. It had to be handwritten. One year, what's the biggest amount we got? Wasn't it like...
It was over $500,000.
It was $500,000,
Yeah,
right?
it was the first year when we were both in Afghanistan and Iraq, and the wars were like in full swing. So we had tons of men and women deployed all over the world. And yeah, it was over $500,000.
And each and every year, I think how long did we do that for? Because every year we did it, we were able to come back in here and say that every single person that was deployed outside the United States that was fighting for our freedoms got a handwritten letter from the Bert Show community. Wow. A tremendous pride in this.
I was part of it for 10 years straight, but prior to that, I think you had done it once a year before, and then the second year you tried it, I think it was like an online thing only, but we did it 10 straight years nonstop since 2011, I want to say.
And the online one sucked. Like, people wanted to write letters. And here we were thinking, like, hey, let's just make it really easy for them. They can get behind their computer and they could just bang something out real quick, and we'll for sure go over our amount. People didn't want to do it, man. They said they were going into their classrooms. We were getting calls from flight attendants on Delta that when they would get on their flight, they would hand out pieces of paper and a pen to everybody on the flight that was doing it also. And then we started to get calls from people that were stationed overseas that got the letters also. Michelle Obama called the show.
What?
And thanked us for our... We should play that one.
Oh, that's on the list.
Oh, it is? Okay.
No, but look, my favorite part, well, there's multiple favorite parts, but seeing Tommy put his big thank you volunteers together, because they had this thing down to a science, a well-oiled machine by the last couple of years. But in the beginning, it was like Tommy here.
The first year, it was all me.
It was insane. But
and volunteers, many volunteers.
One of the highlights was, seeing all these letters come in and the hand-drawn photos of the kids. They always did like a wall of fame where they posted some of the funnier ones or the more heartfelt ones or the ones with the really good artwork.
I'm still mad at one kid, though. We didn't send this one out. We took this part out of his letter. But if you've ever watched the show Breaking Bad, you might want to tune out for 5 seconds, because I'm going to reveal what happened in the end. Because I had saved up, I was going to watch it, and this kid includes a thing in his letter that says, by the way, Walt dies.
What?
I'm like, what?
But it was the soldiers that reached out after they received the letters. That was just so awesome and so cool, and their heartfelt gratitude for receiving this letter, because they're I come from a military family, and my mom was the kind that was sending my care packages to my brother like constantly. Like he was always getting boxes and letters. He even for Easter received an Easter box, but the chocolate bunny melted and it looked like a giant blob, but whatever. But he said there were plenty of men and women who never once got to experience a mail call. Like they went their entire deployment not receiving one piece of mail. So by doing this, we ensured every single service person was going to get some piece of mail.
One of the coolest mementos that I got, and I got a bunch. We would get responses from ships and soldiers and whatnot all over the world. My brother served 20 years in the Air Force. He's retired, and his son served 4 years in the Navy. And while he was on a ship deployed, we sent letters to that ship. And I got a handwritten letter back from the captain with a flag that they flew over that ship when my nephew was serving on the ship.
So
Isn't that
cool.
crazy?
Love it.
I think probably the thing that I'm most proud of when I look over the 25 years is the uniqueness on how we consistently have always come together and done things like this. Like, it's very rare. There are a lot of morning shows that want to do a marathon and they want to raise $100,000 and they get to $12,000, which is nice. And they celebrate that, right? And that's really great. You got $12,000. But each and every year over the course of 25 years, be it Bert's Big Adventure, be it building a playground for a man that just lost his wife and their kids in a thunderstorm in Virginia Highlands, putting together that playground, which is still in Virginia Highlands. Each and every time we have asked you guys to step up and help out, you guys have done it. And that is very, very rare in this industry. And we are batting about 100%. Kristen almost messed it up the other day.
You're welcome.
But with the diapers.
It's what I do. I visited syndicated markets, got us canceled.
Yeah, that's true.
Trying to, hit goals and almost not reaching up. It's just, I'm just trying to keep you on your toes, Bert Weiss.
There was a time there where we were going to different cities when we got syndicated into markets. And whenever Kristen went into a city by herself, sure enough, we lost that city within 4 weeks.
Oh, I'm doing a post about it.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to start doing some throwback posts now that we're officially in the month of October. And I started looking through my photos and I was like, oh, Salt Lake City, cancel.
Bye.
Oh, that's when I went to Birmingham, cancel.
Bye.
Oh, that's when I went to Indy, cancel.
Bye. Very consistent.
The Bert Show.